I think most fundamental thing is to acknowledge that we have mind. As I was saying, as simple as it may sound, or we may think that, oh, we know, we take for granted we have mind, but actually we don't think deep enough. Mind has a certain ability that no others have, something so unique. Like lamp, light, it illuminates surroundings, but also it illuminates itself. Likewise, mind understands or interacts with the objective world, but mind is also capable of seeing itself simultaneously. So let's say if I'm losing my temper, or let's say I'm getting excited, I can train myself to be conscious of that. And you may ask me, what's the point of that? What's so big deal? This is very big deal because when you are conscious of whatever is thinking, whatever you are thinking, chances of you being worked up, you being fanatical, polarized, chances of you becoming, I don't know, stupid, basically. So, first, and the most fundamental is, I think, knowing the mind. Both Matthew and I share one spiritual master, Gyaltsen Chensel Rinpoche, and I remember this very well. I was barely about 9, and it was in a place called Kichu Monastery. It's quite near here. And there's a giant statue of Guru Rinpoche. It was built by Royal Grandmother. And the right foot sticks out. I was very young, I can't touch the right foot. One day my teacher, Gyaltsen Chensel Rinpoche, summoned me, and I went there. He was standing there, he could touch, he was a tall man. And I didn't know what he was going to ask. He said, do you have head? I looked right and left, and I didn't know what he was up to, so I said, yes. Then he said, where? Then again, I looked right and left, and I said, here. Then he kept on asking questions like, do you have feet? Do you have hands? So on and so forth. Suddenly, he asked, do you have mind? And then I mindlessly said, yes. Then he asked me, where? And that question being asked, not necessarily for answer, because getting the answer is not the point. I sometimes wish that in today's world, if kids are being asked the same question, it would really benefit.
Thank you. On that note, we will end this session.